लेट्स से किसी ने अभी प्रैक्टिस शुरू कर ली है एंड दे हैव जस्ट स्टार्टेड, देयर आर लाइक अ फ्यू पार्टनर्स, तो इसमें अभी कौन से टाइप की सर्विसेज को वो लोग कितना चार्ज कर सकते हैं? बिकॉज दे आर क्लूलेस, अभी नए नए प्रैक्टिस शुरू की है, कितना चार्ज करना, क्या करना, वो सब पता ही नहीं है किसी को. सो कैन यू जस्ट गिव अस अ ब्रॉड एस्टिमेट ऑफ द रेंज विच पीपल कैन चार्ज वंस दे सेट अप अ प्रैक्टिस फॉर डिफरेंट डोमेन्स विच आर
See,
देयर?
what happens is this. In our profession, there are certain services where you have a fixed fee, like an audit. You have to have an audit fee, audit remuneration, engagement letter में fix होता है. अभी उसमें range होता है. So there is no one size fits all. The larger firms have very large fees, mid-size firm have mid fees,
कितना
smaller
होगा,
firms.
क्या रेंज होगा?
No, so it depends on, frankly, it's the other way around. Who is the auditee? Who are you auditing? How complex is that organization? How large is that organization? If it's a small startup company, the fees will be very low. The moment the complexity increases, the time, see, it's also about the time that the auditor is spending and the team is spending in preparing the audit file, the documentation, etc. So a reasonable fee will be a function of 4 or 5 things. I can't put an amount here, but I will say the complexity, the volume of transactions, the quality of accounting, the quality of documentation, so that I can get my audit files prepared faster, and overall reliability of the financial statement, comfort on the management, comfort on the, is it an investable company? Will I put my money? Then there's a lot of green ticks. Then my audit should be smoother, because there is tone at the top which is saying that we will not tolerate any misstatement. There is no hanky-panky, which you come to know. As an auditor, you come to know. Transactions kaise ho rahe hai, documentation ka, what is the quality. If those are green ticks, then you can do a faster audit. The fee should be reasonable. If those are difficult, don't do the audit. Give it up. Don't try to defend somebody else's transactions. You are coming at the end of the year. Ideally, audit should be done throughout the year, right? At regular intervals, do interim reviews, etc. And ideally, be in touch with the client, know the business. Don't do an audit if you don't understand the business and if you don't understand the industry. First learn that, then you can really be a good auditor. So fees will be an outcome of all of these factors. Now, people charge 10 crore rupees also. Larger complex organization, you charge well. So it's very related to size, output, throughput, and then there is a risk that you carry. The cost of doing audits have gone up tremendously. People cost, the technology cost, if you're using good tools, quality review cost. Generally, the organizational costs keep going up and up. Even post-COVID, traveling may have gone down 1 or 2 years, but now it's come back, right? The review cost. Then there's a risk that you take, the liabilities, right? So you take liability insurance. So when you start adding all of that, it's an expensive profession. And audit opinions are expensive in a lot of the larger countries, countries where there's a lot of litigation. India is getting there. Right now, we're still at the beginning of it. But in my view, because audit is mandatory, there should be reasonability, but it cannot be cheap. And I would encourage chartered accountants and friends who are watching this that please charge well. Don't give away your opinion at a dirt price. It's not necessary. You are spending quality time. You're taking a lot of risks and liability. So you should be charging well, commensurate to what you think is fair for a particular client. I cannot prescribe a fee. It doesn't work that way. I'm just giving you some ideas, some ways to think. And then you'll get into the market. You'll realize where you are. Same thing now if I look at tax, right? Tax is grey cells. It's opinions. It's your experience, your expertise. So one is a compliance practice. Other is an advisory practice. Advisory practice, you charge based on the value you deliver. That's the only way to charge. You can't do just an hourly rate and say, I've charged 2 hours, I've spent 2 hours, I'll charge you 2 hours into 10,000 rupees. That's not the right way.
How do you compute the value that you have delivered?
Correct. So that's something which you educate the client. For example, let's say there is a complex tax issue, right? You are solving it for him, you're saving taxes, you know that the value that you've created is not just for 1 year, it's for lifetime. So you should charge a good proportionate value. But remember, pre-agree the basis. In your engagement letter, you have to tell the client that this is my charging methodology. I'm going to charge you basis A, B, and C. Now, value, time, expertise, and you can always give a range. Lower range to upper range, an hourly rate range, an hours basis cap. And then you say, overall, every client wants to know the fee. So you have to give him a range, but you can be in the higher of the range as well if you overspend time. And remember, taxation is one service, Kushal, that people need it now more than ever. Okay, there are a lot of transactions where people are not sure, and I'm talking about decent sized transactions, right? So you can charge well if you know your subject well. So again, if you look at, if I were to draw a chart, if you're at the beginning of the thing on an axis, for basic services, you can only charge so much. As you start getting more and more deeper into the organization, for example, PLI, basically profit link incentives, and even production link incentives. So there are certain industries where the government gives production link incentives to companies. Now, if you are an expert in that industry, you should be able to make an application on behalf of your client and get money back from the government, where you can charge a very nice fee.
As a percentage of the money which is
It
given.
could be a percentage, it could be a fixed fee. Depends. Now, institute has some rules around it. You can't just charge contingent fees always. As an auditor, there are challenges. So, keeping institute rules, with you, you can charge a good fee, decent fee. I'll not go into percentages, but certainly, if you are saving 100 to the client, you should be able to charge 10 or 20.
Okay.
Because you are getting back fee. Government से पैसा, जैसे अभी FAME subsidy है for EVs, right? The government pays you for developing an EV vehicle, selling a 2-wheeler or 3-wheeler or 4-wheeler. Similarly, the government pays you for manufacturing, for creating, for basically producing. You're creating jobs, you're creating products. So the production link incentives are meant for growing an industry. If you have the expertise, remember it's not easy. It's not a form filing thing. It's a very complicated process. Very few people understand. And out of there, very few people actually execute and successfully get PLIs back from the government. So you have to charge well.
If you learned something new from this video, do share it with your friends and subscribe to this channel so that we can bring you the best content possible. Also, if you want to watch this entire episode, click on the link in the description box and you can go to Kushal Lodha YouTube channel and watch the entire podcast episode. Thank you so much for watching this and have an amazing day.